in place to ensure that security of online transactions during the busy holiday season?
Okay, so 4Cs is 24/7 concerning the staff that is working related to fraud monitoring. So
Okay.
fraud monitoring staff works 24/7.
Yes.
They monitor the card activity. Once a suspicious transaction has been identified, the staff would try to contact the card holder to try and confirm if the transaction is legitimate or it's fraud. If the card holder confirms that the transaction is fraud, then that card would be blocked and replaced. If in the case where the staff tries to reach the card holder and they do not reach it, the card will be blocked pending verification of that transaction. Right?
Okay.
Also, what would happen to if a fraud event has been identified? Let's say this one particular merchant you're seeing processing transactions on various cards. We can also block that merchant to prevent fraudulent activity.
All right. Thank you. You mentioned suspicious activity. What does that mean?
Now, we have a fraud-based system where we have fraud rules.
Yes.
So, fraud rules are built on the financial institution bins according to the fraud trends that are happening.
Okay.
For instance, one example of a fraud rule would be a velocity rule, where you may implement a rule to allow, let's say, 5 transactions in one day on a card. Because, when fraud happens, these try, particularly if they recognize that there's funds on the card, they would try multiple times.
Yes.
So that is an example. Normally, a rule would trigger, and the fraud staff would see that rule that triggered.
Yes.
And this is where they would try and contact the card holder to confirm whether the transaction is legitimate. Right? There are times the card holder may say it's legitimate, so we can create an exemption for that rule so that the card holder is allowed to continue the transaction.
All right. Thank you. Remember, radio listeners, you can call in and ask questions. This speaks to your security. Security using your card online, and we know that there are persons who sometimes record suspicious activity on their cards. So we encourage you to call in, and we will be able to answer your questions. Okay. Can you provide insight verification process used for the online transactions?
Okay, so one of the security feature that is on your card is the 3-digit code to the back of the card, right? That code is only used on for online transactions, which we call the card not present environment, right? This code is used while processing transactions, and the code is used for the merchant to identify that the person that is using the card is the actual card holder. Right? Also, the expiry date that is printed to the front of the card is also used with that CVV2 code in order for a successful transaction to be processed. If you use the wrong CVV code, if you use the wrong expiration date, the transaction will not be processed successfully. It will be declined.
So that's like a safety mechanism.
Yeah. So you would either get an invalid expiration date or an code.
All right. Thank you.
Also, another authentication way, we have some clients who implement something called Verify by Visa, aka we call it 3D Secure.
Okay.
It's an additional authentication step where the merchant will send an OTP. An OTP is a one-time passcode to the card holder. That card holder who is registered with 3D Secure should be the only card person getting that code.
Yes.
And you would use that code to continue the transaction and process the transaction, and which would be successful. So it means that only the card holder can get that code. So there's an additional step for card holders who have been implemented with 3D Secure.
Okay, and that's a one-time code.
Yeah.
Wow, so you can't go and use it again.
You will have to request
You'll have to request another one. Okay, that's good. Steps should customers take if they suspect that there's a fraudulent activity on their card?
Well, the first thing, once you recognize a fraud on your card, you have to call your bank as soon as possible. You
Yes.
either call your issuing bank who would have issued the card, or you can call us at 4Cs at 465-3700. Right? The financial institutions that we work with in the Federation is Bank of Nevis and SKNA. So those card holders can either call one of their banks
One of their bank.
or they can call 4Cs.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least we have avenues
Yes.
that we can get it done. And this could be any day or night.
Yeah, because we have 24/7.
24,
Yeah.
right.
So they can call 4Cs. They may not be able to reach their bank at a certain time, but they can call us at 4Cs.
Okay. All right. How does your card company handle customer data and ensure that there is privacy? We know that confidential stuff seems to be not confidential somewhat like that, because you have persons who breach of confidence, can't be trusted, but yet they are working in certain areas. So how can your card company handle the customer data and ensure the privacy and confidentiality of that personal information?
Okay, so we have implemented robust data security policies and procedures that we must comply with as staff members.
Okay.
Okay. Additionally, we have the Card Payment Security Compliance Standards. This is called the PCI DSS, meaning Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards. This is a standard that is mandated to all card payment stakeholders that stores and transmits information, card data. This is yearly. We have to ensure that we comply every year to the standard. Right? Any card company that stores card data, you must comply.
And this is regulated by whom?
Yes. Well, it's global.
So you can't take the chance.
No. This is compliance.
Right. And non-compliance mean your company shutting down.
Yes, that's what that means.
It's that serious. Okay. Okay, we'll take a break now, and when we come back with the other half, you can still feel free to call in and share your questions, and we will try to provide the answers for you.
Mommy, remember you told me if I pass all my exams, you would buy me a brand new laptop computer, a cell phone, and a PlayStation 4? Well, here are the results.
Wow, son, you did great. But where can I find all these stuff at affordable prices?
Smart Electronics, Mommy. They have stuff for the entire family. They have washing machines, cell phones, tablets, refrigerators, TVs, blenders, irons, microwave ovens, Bluetooth speakers, and much, much more. And they are located at Port Zante opposite the food court.
Wow, but son, where did you get all these information?
My friend told me, and he also told me if you buy them somewhere else, they won't last.
Is that so?
Yes, Mommy, so I don't want you to buy them anywhere else but Smart Electronics.
Okay, son, get dressed. We are going down to Smart Electronics.
No need to go to St. Martin anymore. We have everything available right here in St. Kitts. And remember, one store in St. Kitts. And we are located at Port Zante opposite the food court. Smart Electronics, way to live a smart life.
This is my land, my island, our home. The climate has changed, it's becoming strange. We have to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong. We need slow civilization, forest rehabilitation, come together as a nation for drought and flood mitigation. Development with policies and plans, let's change our ways, protect our lands, get involved every child, woman and man. Island resilience has got the plan. This is my land, my island, our home. It's time to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong.
Island Resilience, promoting change. The Climate Change Adaptation and Sustainable Land Management Initiative of the OECS Commission, funded by the European Union.
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flowing the joy and better value. Together, imagine all we could do. Prizes and offers inspired by you.
This holiday season, get 2 Samsung A04Es for only $299 EC when you sign up for a family postpaid plan. Enjoy up to 60 gigabytes of data, unlimited WhatsApp and YouTube.
This Christmas is all about you. Telling your boy, Flow brings the joy and better value.
Flow, connecting hearts and homes this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Right, welcome back and good morning to you again. I am host Inspector Shauna Francis Edwards, and we're on with Policing with You. We have just completed the first half, and my guest is Miss Odessa Huggins, and she's from the Caribbean Credit Card Corporation. You know that online, everybody is going online. If it's not online, it is digital. And we want to make sure that when you use your cards, that you are safe in this environment. And so that's the reason why we have Miss Huggins here with us. Feel free to call in and ask questions, and we will try as best to provide the answers for you. Welcome back again, Miss Huggins. I know you would have gone through how you are safe online. What do you do if somebody report a suspicious activity and all of that? How does it stay updated with the latest security threats during this Christmas season, considering that a lot of more people now will be doing transactions online to order stuff from sites? You have Amazon and all those. Good morning. We lost that caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I do not have any card to credit anything for it to be confidential. But I'm going to make a little digress, because this is something we've been speaking about on this program, Policing with You. I'm asking a question now. Is it legal for anybody to have the animal disturbing people in the places that provided for pedestrian and vehicle publicly to use? Goat don't attack people. Sheep don't attack people. Donkey don't attack people. If you pass to near a cattle, it will come after you. Dog do attack. Now, a lot of people been disturbed right in St. Kitts here with loose and tied dog attacking them in the public places, which is provided for pedestrian and vehicle to use. So my question is it legal for them to do that? And what are the policemen are doing about that? Because we complain about it all in Bastille. Dog got people running up and down the place. And we talk about it on the radio, and it seems like no police doing nothing. So it don't seem like police really working, policing with us. Thank you very much for taking my question.
Thank you very much for your question. I believe that we will have to take that at a different time, but right now we are dealing with cards and online banking, online shopping, and how you are kept safe in that sort of environment. We will have to leave yours for another time. Good morning and welcome to Policing with You.
Police?
Hello, good morning.
I thought this is ZIZ. Sorry.
It is ZIZ.
I thought is there something about police?
Yes, it's Policing with You.
Oh, okay. My name is Marcella Fleming. I don't know if it's Jazzy I'm speaking with right now.
No.
Okay, it's a funeral.
Hold on.
Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to Policing with
Hello.
You.
Hello, good morning, Inspector Edwards.
Good morning,
and
sir.
This is your fellow Kittian, Sonny Boy, watching the show from New York City. Enjoying it. I don't have a question, but I'm enjoying it. And I want to wish you all season greetings, especially my friend GQ and all my fellow Kittians and my family. Watching from New York City.
Thank you very
Have a
much,
nice
Sonny
day.
Boy, for the shout out.
Have a nice day.
You too as well, and enjoy for this season, you and your family.
Thank you.
Right. Good morning and welcome to Policing with You.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think I missed something a while ago. You were saying if you
sorry.
trying to read.
Sorry. Hello. One second. Turn down the volume on your radio.
I'm over from it.
Okay, right. Now go ahead with your question.
You were saying if you're trying to reach the bank in the night and you can't reach the bank, where you say you can call?
4 Cs.
4 Cs.
Yes, their phone number is 465-3700.
Okay, thank you.
They do operate on a 24-hour basis. So if you can't get your bank, you can get them.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. Right, so back to the question. How does a card company stay updated with the latest security threats during this season? Because a lot of people will be shopping online.
Yeah. So we have a vast amount of information that is available to us from the networks that we stay up to date with, and we must stay up to date because there are the changes in fraud trends that the network is able to identify, so they would share this information with us so we can use it best for our clients. So they normally would send information on fraud trends, the best practices and recommendations. So we try to use this information to assist our clients and holders.
Okay, thank you. Are there any upcoming security enhancements or initiatives that customers should be aware of to protect or further protect their online transactions during this season?
Okay, so my first thing would say, keep your card safe. Your card is your money. Right?
That is true.
Never share your CVV2 code. That's the 3-digit code that I would have mentioned earlier.
Yes, at the back of your card.
Do not share it with anybody except once you're doing an online transaction and it is required. But you're not you don't go to a store and they ask you for your CVV2 code. It's not useful in a card present environment. Right? You should be aware of fictitious merchant promotions. Those promotions, the Green Card Lottery.
Yes.
Vacation winnings.
Yes.
Those too good to be true, kind of.
Yes.
The educational enhancement offers that they offer discounted for you. Tell you can get a course for a discounted amount. You pay attention to those.
Yes.
Right? Be wary of offers too good to be true, which I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Okay. Another thing, this is the third time I'm here and I mentioned this, keep your savings account separated from your debit card.
From your debit card.
And this is extremely important because you don't want to have your savings, your hard-earned savings that you have on your savings account, and you have that debit card attached to it. And fraudsters get a hold of your card,
they're gone with all your money.
Your money is gone.
That is true. Good morning. Welcome to Policing with You.
Good morning.
Yes.
We were talking something about the 3-digit in the back, but it's so easy to see. So what in the case, like, you got it there and then somebody just, somebody just waits down and say, okay, then that's the thing, and then they just go with your card and then they do a transaction. Well, how we gonna work about that?
No, you have to make sure you have your card secured. If you go to a store, normally, let's say you go to the supermarket, you will be inserting your card in the point of sale machine. The card, the cashier cannot see that CVV2 unless they turn over the card. So it's to the back of the card, not to the front.
Or like a family member, like because it's easy to see.
Yes, but
maybe you just one day you think you have the card on you, but you left it home. and then a family member do it for you. So how you work against that there?
Well, that would mostly be on you. You have to protect your card. You keep your card in a safe. You don't leave it hanging around.
I was just listening to this show. It's a nice show. So I just let me call in and ask a question.
You ensure that you don't keep your card hanging around. You keep it safe within your wallet. Even your family members should not have access to your card unless you give them access.
Right.
Okay then, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
I want to add something to that, or ask a follow-up question to that. That same 3-digit at the back, if you're doing an online transaction, you don't have to put in the information on the front, the card number?
You will have to put in to process an online transaction. There are 3 types of information that is needed.
Right.
The card number to the front of the card, the expiration date,
Yes.
and the CVV
CVV.
too. So when it comes to card data being stolen
Yes.
For an online transaction, those are the 3 type of information that they need.
Okay,
Right.
I understand that. And at the point of sales, sometimes they only need just the number in front because...
Well, for the point of sale, the machine is going to read the card.
Right.
So you don't need to give anybody that. Once you have the card, you either
insert
the password
yes.
the card or tap. And the machine reads that card. So to authenticate a point of sale transaction, the authentication process happens within the mag stripe, the strip to the back of the card.
magnetic, yes.
So there's the CVV,
Yes.
the CVV2 that is encoded there, and the machine reads that.
Yes.
And that would say that the card is a authentic card.
Okay.
But for the online, there's no reading of the card.
Right, so you have to insert
Yes,
manually.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Okay, and to add, I was the last thing I mentioned was keeping your savings account separate
From your debit
card.
Yes.
Right. This is extremely important. Your savings can be wiped out if your card data is stolen. Right? Now
I agree with you. I've seen that. It happened to persons that I know.
Yes. You just you separate the account. You know you're gonna make a purchase. Transfer
the funds.
What you need.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The most can happen if a fraudster try, they will get insufficient funds because the card doesn't have
the money
funds in it.
Right.
And we have digital skimming now. Most of us are aware of skimming in the card present environment where some devices used and they skim the card data. The card. Now you can do that online. So there's digital skimming where this is a malicious code that is deployed on the website by fraudsters. When it normally targets the checkout page where you would insert your card number and
put
your
in the information
expiration
there.
date and the CVV2. So cardholder data can be stolen using this technique.
Wow.
And around this time you find the online traffic increases significantly. Right?
That is so true.
So fraudsters may try to target these certain websites and steal cardholder data. You also have now they have the popular websites that have discounted goods and services for some like travel. A lot of travel traveling may be happening right now.
Yes.
So you travel and hospitality merchants, those reservation merchants and all that.
Right.
They may try to target those as well.
Like Airbnb
right?
and so on.
Yes. So you pay attention to these types of websites because they have a higher volume of card data available to be stolen.
Yes.
Right? You have the phishing websites. These are created specifically to entice cardholders where they offer discounts and they appear to be legitimate. So you may find a website that looks legitimate and then cardholders fall victim to these types of websites as well. We have the advancement of AI, which is artificial intelligence, which everybody I think knows about right now.
Yes.
Right? You sign on to your computer, your browser, there's a big thing over there telling you can just ask a question and answer is popping
And the answer
up,
is
right?
provided one time.
Right? Of those, because what we're seeing is they can embed links in them. Once you click on those links, you don't know where you're clicking.
And
they
we will
carry
take you.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
They carry you to a store, online store, you insert your information and your cardholder data is stolen as well. Right? Pay attention to transaction alerts. Right? We have Bank of Nevis and SKNA card holders, they have access to transaction alerts. Whether whether the transaction is approved or not, you get an alert.
You get an alert.
Right?
Yes,
So
I've seen that on my card.
So you pay attention to those alerts, and this is you should pay special attention because we have something called bin enumeration or bin testing, where the fraudsters use a software where they get a hold of a bin. For example, SKNA debit card 409438. They get those first 6 digits, but they generate the additional. They don't necessarily know what the numbers are, but they will get a hit at some point. Right? So you may see your card. Some people complain, may have fraud on their account, and they say, but I've never used my card online. I don't know how is it I'm getting fraud. It's because you didn't use a card online, but these numbers are spitting out. And then know what the responses are as well. So if they get an approval, it may be a small amount, and then they start monetizing.
Yes.
Right? So your transaction alerts should be able to pick up these, and once you identify these, you call either your bank or your 4Cs to, you got an alert to say, I didn't do it. Okay? Right away, we can block the merchant. We can, if the transaction was successful, we could block and replace your card. Right? You have to also be aware of physical theft. Right? The caller called in a while ago concerned about his family member.
Family member.
We have now the shop line and card present has increased. The Christmas shopping, the holidays. In the rush, people may drop stuff.
True.
You could drop your wallet that contains your information, right? So you be aware of physical theft, where you may ensure that you always have your card protected, right? And the last one I want to talk about is something called first-party fraud. It's a little on the flip side, right? We're here talking about how card holders can protect their cards. Right? But first, the first-party fraud is something that may happen and increase within this type of period as well. It is a technique where you as a card holder, you process the transaction, but then you said you did not do it. Right?
Okay.
We see those a lot. And in this season, you may find people do it a lot, and it is not right. You may have a card holder claim they didn't transaction, let's say for a large ticket item, with the intention of disputing the transaction. They get their funds back and they sell the item for something because they got it as a discounted price. You have them who say they did not receive the item with the intention of being reimbursed even though the item was received. Right? And then they can use the cash again.
Yes.
Right? Then we have, which is more popular, you have those that claim they did not authorize a transaction that was actually completed by someone within the household. Now, this is negligence on your part because you're not supposed to, first of all, have persons that have access to
similar to the question that the young man asked.
Some of them, the transactions are completed by their children.
Yes.
Where they use their phones, they download games and they pay for them.
And they pay for them.
And these long trail of transactions coming in and the card holder says, I don't know anything about it, even though they know that it was their child who did it. In this scenario, the merchant is out of pocket because the merchant didn't do anything wrong. So I decided to use this scenario just to make card holders aware that it is wrong.
It is. And that's a form of fraud too.
Yeah.
And
the networks frown on it, and they advise for the issues to properly investigate because a lot of the times it's even hard to detect. Right? So
I understand where you're coming from.
But it is not right because you process the transaction. So
right. Once it's investigated, then it will end up by the police.
That's it. But this is what sometimes we try to advise our clients where they ask for advice and we tell them that it is a matter of the card holder reporting it to the police. Because the transaction was done.
Yes. And then that way you will know too if it was sincere or if it was a hoax or something like that. Because if you're saying that you did action and the transaction went through, then report it to the police and let the police investigate it.
Yeah.
But then if they don't want to report it to the police or fail to report it, it is most times saying that what they were doing was malicious.
Yep.
I get you. So, are there any wrapping up, any few words that you would want to say?
I like to end off by saying, your card is your money. Keep it safe. You may have a credit card with a credit limit.
Yes.
I may have a small limit. You may have a larger limit. The
Yes.
point is, fraudsters can get access to those funds if your card is not kept safe. Be mindful of the websites that you visit.
Yes.
They would tell you would sometimes being told that you should check to make sure when you're entering your card online, make sure in the address bar you'll see HTTPS, the URL.
Yes.
Make sure the S is on. This suggests that the site is secured, or sometimes you see the lock sign, the icon lock, the lock
Yes.
sign. Yes, and you ensure that. Also, we spoke about artificial intelligence. One of the things is happening now that it has advanced so much that you don't know. They just
Look normal,
replicate
look
and
real.
look normal. So you still gotta be mindful of
Yes.
what you're using.
Yeah, anyone that you want to send greetings to? Season, I know we are shy. Okay, well, I would like to say thank you very much, Ms. Odessa Huggins, for taking the time from your busy schedule to be here on Policing with you and sharing some very insightful and thoughtful information with regards to securing your online transactions. It's always a pleasure to have persons from different areas coming on our show, and thank you again. For those calling, we thank you very much for your calls. Of course, without you, our show wouldn't be the way that it was this morning. It was a success. And for the person whose question I didn't answer, that was because it is non-related to what we are doing, and you may have to either visit a police station, or if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at Sandy Point Police Station. You can call there and I can try to address that question for you. The number for Sandy Point Police Station is 465-6261. And for me, this is my final Thursday for the year. We have one more session next week, and I would like to thank all of the radio listeners and all of the persons who have been calling in during the time that I was here for this year. Thank you very much. I couldn't have been a success without your calls. And for GQ, thank you very much for being so gracious. And thank Christopher Nevis Police Force for allowing me to represent you here on Policing with you. God's blessings, and have a safe and successful Christmas and Carnival season. Thank you.
Say what you think.